Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies and fans and followers and whatever you are. Um, this is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Baseball Talk for Monday, June 27th. I'm a little depressed. I lost my job, the job that I really cared about, a job that I had for years, and a job that I felt like part of my family. You know, they got on my nerves, and got on my nerves a lot, but I loved them anyways. And I'm really sad that the chapter of my life is closed, but I am excited for the future because that means I can leave here. I have no ties to the city anymore. I don't have to stay here. I can go pursue my own happiness somewhere else. And get my mental health right, hopefully. Summer finally has arrived here in the Pacific Northwest, as it's been in the 90s for the last couple of days. And I'm thankful that I was able to sign up for Uber Eats and they accepted me. I've been having fun with that. It's nice to, go explore the city, that parts of the city that even I'm trying to stay here in Vancouver on my side of the river. I'm still finding new neighborhoods and back ways and shortcuts around town that I didn't really know were there. And I've gone into Portland a little bit. You can make a lot more money in Portland, I've discovered. But I try to stay over here because traffic in Portland is just miserable. So it's like, sure, you get that $20 ride, that $20 delivery, but then you get stuck in traffic for a half hour or an hour. So it's not really, it's balancing out. And yeah, I was learning some shortcuts, same scenario, some shortcuts, some new areas of Portland that I hadn't really, I've been in, but wasn't, didn't explore enough. So it's nice to get out and explore. It's nice to be able to make my own hours, work when I want to. It's nice to not really have a boss to deal with, not really have coworkers to deal with to drive me nuts. So it's good for my mental health, really. It's stress-free because I can only, I don't have to take more orders than I want to. Like if I just want to do one order at a time, I can do that. And I don't have to take all the orders that pop up on my phone. And so I can just do one at a time, two at a time, whatever the case may be. And so it's relatively stress-free. The big problem is gas prices are so high right now. Everybody knows that, right? So it's like, how worth it is it really to go out and do a $200 day or $150 day if I'm having to fill up my gas tank, every day doing that. So we'll see. I'm grateful for Uber Eats. I'm grateful for UPS. I'm happy for the jobs that I have, but hopefully they can get me by through this summer, and then I'm going to move probably to Arizona. I don't know if I want to move there in the summer, but I do have a friend there. She hooked me up with a referral for her apartments, which are in a really nice location there in Tucson, and they're cheap, affordable, and nice location, affordable, aren't terrible looking, and I would know somebody who lives there, so I'd kind of already have a friend, which is kind of cool. And I could use the money because I just sold my old car. I'm trying not to touch that money. I'm trying to save that for when I move. I could use that money probably right now because the deposit on the place wasn't super expensive either. So I could use that money, most of that money, or I probably would need to add a couple $100 or something, no big deal, to put a deposit down on a place in Arizona and save me a place for, I don't know, September 1st or something, and then just work to survive these next couple of months here, because it's summer in Oregon. Even though I love fall's the best time of year because the weather's usually pretty nice. You got football, all the holidays. Fall's my favorite time of year, but summers are nice here too. We're not gonna shouldn't get a whole lot of rain. So I'm glad the summer finally showed up. I'm not in any big hurry to move, because I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with all my stuff. If I'm gonna take it with me, or if I'm gonna put it in a storage unit, or what. It's gonna be an inconvenience and expensive either way. So figure out if I'm gonna sell it, make a little extra money. I don't know. That's gonna be the hard part. That's why I need a little bit more time. But it's nice to know that I could pay my rent. I got enough money to pay my rent this month. I got enough money to put a deposit down on another apartment in another place if I want to move there. And then I just gotta survive the next, couple of months, 6 weeks or so, 8 weeks or so, and move to Arizona after the summer is over, because even though I like that dry heat, I don't want my first, I don't want to move there in the middle of this. I'd rather move there in the fall and then have all year to enjoy the perfect Arizona weather before I have to mentally prepare for the Arizona summer. So I just think that's going to be the best move for me. And maybe, since I live in Anchorage, Alaska so much, maybe I'll move up there. I don't know. The problem is I haven't really been up there in the winter yet. I need to go visit in the winter time before I make any decisions on moving there. I already know that I like Arizona, so if it doesn't work out in Arizona, maybe I'll try Alaska. I always know I can come back here. This is home. I've lived here my whole life. I got a lot of connections here. It's safe to stay here, and I know I can come back here, but I'm just unhappy here. So it's time for a change. It's time for a change. Time for a challenge. I mean, technically I moved out of the state because I live in Washington. I live across the river, but basically it still feels like the same place. I didn't move very far. I only moved a couple hours away. People, if I need help with my car, or I need help with moving, I got people who can come help me. But if I go to Arizona, I'm not going to have that support system. So, but I am doing Uber Eats. If I keep it up, I get, because I'm already an Uber Gold, or if I get to Uber Gold, then I'll get roadside assistance for free as part of being an Uber Eats driver. So that gives me some peace of mind on my car. And then I'm also going to get AAA, because I heard AAA is really cheap. And it's like, I think the person that was telling me about it, 2 people I've talked to about it actually said it's less than $100 a year. So, I mean, that's what, less than $10 a month? I could easily afford that. That'd be some great peace of mind too. So have both of those things. It's nice. It'll be nice to have the peace of mind so when my car has problems, because it's old. It's got some mileage. It's a $500 car. I already put $400 into it. I need to get some tires on this thing too. So I'm going to end up spending more money on this car than I did buying the car. But if driving is going to be my livelihood, at least temporarily, I need to take care of this car. So also, I plan on if I move, I plan on driving it down there, because I want a car down there. So yeah. This car's gonna get worked this summer, and so I'm gonna try to take care of it as best I can. But let's get to what you actually tuned in for. I'm 9 minutes in, and as you can see, I'm not at home. I'm out, actually, in the movie theater parking lot. I'm gonna go watch The Black Phone. I think this movie was supposed to be out like in the spring, and they pushed it back for some reason. They wanted to turn it into a summer blockbuster. They wanted to stack it up against Jurassic World, which I don't think was a very good business strategy, but here we are. I'm interested in it. I want to see it. The showtime is convenient for me, so that's where I'm going to go after I film this. So the 5 steaming hitters to consider. Jonah Heim, a catcher for the Rangers. He's having a bit of a breakout year, if you've been paying attention, which most people aren't paying attention to the Rangers. Rangers fans are barely paying attention to the Rangers. But Jonah Heim is definitely been the better catcher of the Texas duo between him and Mitch Garver. Jonah Heim is someone to consider adding as a catcher because he's number 7 in the rankings right now, and he doesn't even play every day. So if you need some catcher help, he's probably your best option. Nico Horner, the second base shortstop for the Cubs, young guy, is looking like one of the better hitters for the Cubs. He's really been doing an outstanding job this month, and I think he's got the pedigree. I think he's talented enough to keep this up, so he can provide you help at second base and shortstop. We've got Nick Allen, the young prospect for the A's. He's also eligible at shortstop and second base. He's been hitting really well. Oakland seems to be making a really conscious effort to get him a spot every day, as they've been moving Tony Kemp to the outfield so Nick Allen can play second base every day. So Nick Allen's a guy should be on your radar. Harold Ramirez, the outfielder, first base, DH for the Rays, kind of quietly putting together a pretty good year for the Rays. Not a whole lot of power there, but the average is over 300. Everything else is good enough that he could be pretty useful for you in your lineup. And lastly, one guy, kind of a dark horse, but is doing semi-well, finally, for the first time in his career, Nick Senzel, the outfielder for the Reds. Definitely hasn't lived up to the lofty standards that he had coming out of the draft. I think he was like the number 1 pick or number 2 pick or something. The Reds have given him so many chances, and he really hasn't been able to capitalize on it. But the Reds are so bad right now. Nick Senzel's probably going to play until his legs fall off or until he gets hurt. So he's a guy you don't really have to worry about sitting very often. He'll play every day, and he's been moderately productive enough to consider. Moving on to the pitchers. Tuesday is a great day for streaming. I've got 6 options for you, starting with 2 guys who are pitching against each other. Now, don't laugh. Don't laugh at one of these names. But we got Jose Quintana of the Pirates at the Nationals. Jose Quintana, same argument has been all season. He's not going to get you a lot of wins because he pitches for Pittsburgh, but he can go deep into games. He is racking up enough strikeouts to be relevant, and the ERA is low. So as long as Jose Quintana is healthy, I think he's a pretty decent pitcher who could at least get you some strikeouts and a quality start in most cases. Now, the pitcher opposing him tomorrow is going to be Patrick Corbin, and Patrick Corbin is having an awful year. Patrick Corbin's had an awful couple of years, and there's really no reason to trust him tomorrow. Honestly, there isn't. But if you look at the FIP is much lower than the ERA, so that does suggest that he has had some bad luck. Okay, and the Pirates are a pretty good matchup for him tomorrow. One of the better matchups Patrick Corbin's going to see all season. So if there is a game to throw Patrick Corbin out there and hope for some positivity, and it looks like I got like something on my face. It's just the lighting. Tomorrow against the Pirates at home in Nationals Park is going to be that game. Next, we got J.P. Sears, the young pitcher for the Yankees. He's going to get called up to make a spot start for the Yankees against the Athletics. The Athletics are bad. They don't really have anybody who can hit. Nick Allen, I know I just talked about him. He's okay. Ramon Laureano, okay. But there's no power in that lineup that scares you. There's nobody who just is consistently going to produce. Everybody that they have is kind of more of a streaming tier option as a hitter. So J.P. Sears, his ownership is only at like 0.3% right now, but I'm sure that's gonna jump up to around, I'm gonna say 10% tomorrow, as he is one of the better streaming options for Tuesday's games. Dakota Hudson versus the Marlins. Now, I know he started out well. He's been really inconsistent lately, and his last start was not anything to write home about. But if you look at his last 4 starts, I think, it's been good, bad. So if that trend continues, this should be a good one. The Marlins are an opponent that I like for him to produce well against. And then Keegan Thompson of the Cubs versus the Reds. Keegan Thompson has quietly been one of the more consistent starting pitchers in the league, and probably the Cubs' most consistent starting pitcher this season. And the Reds, as has been noted by me several times and has been all over the sports news, Reds are awful this year. So Keegan Thompson should easily be someone to trust tomorrow. And then Johnny Cueto of the White Sox against the Angels. Angels are a tough team to kind of determine how they're going to be. But I like Cueto enough to be, you're not usually going to get sensational options. That's why they're streamers. But Johnny Cueto's worth taking a chance on. Moving on to Wednesday, I've got 3 for you. I like Dane Dunning of the Rangers against the Royals. The Royals are really bad. Salvador Perez is now out for a long term, possibly the season. So there's nobody in the Royals lineup that really scares you. Chris Flexen of the Mariners against the Orioles at T-Mobile Park. Pitcher-friendly environment, bad team. Chris Flexen had a good start in his last outing. He's the kind of pitcher who, not a lot of strikeouts, but he keeps the ball kind of on the ground, so he eliminates the carry and the power, something that the Orioles hitters are good at is lifting the ball, because they play in Camden Yards half their games, where ball, you can hit a lot more homers in Camden Yards than a lot of other places. So I like Chris Flexen. And then Hunter Green, I know that's dangerous, that's risky against the Cubs, but I just like Hunter Green. I think he just racks up too many strikeouts to not roll out there. I know, again, it's risky. He gives up a lot of home runs, and when he pitches bad, he pitches really bad. But when he pitches good, he pitches really good too. So high risk, high reward. But if you're desperate enough to be streaming pitchers midweek on a Wednesday, you're probably looking for a high reward player, and there's nobody out there more high rewarding than Hunter Green. And lastly, Thursday, I've just got 1 for you. Still a lot of games to be determined. I like Chris Archer again. Chris Archer against the Guardians. His last outing, he did get 20 plus points. I'm trusting Chris Archer's pedigree. I'm trusting Chris Archer's health. Pedigree and health suggests that Chris Archer is a good pitcher when healthy. So, again, I think he's going to have another productive day against the Guardians in Cleveland on Thursday. All right. Time to go check out my movie. I feel like haven't been going to the movies as much lately. There just hasn't really been a lot of movies coming out. Like back in the spring and stuff, it was like 2-3 movies a week. Now there's like 1 movie a week, so it's like, most of these movies aren't worth seeing twice. The only movie, I saw Top Gun Maverick twice. I could definitely go watch that one again. And then I did see The Northman twice. Just because I just thought it was like a really visually fantastic movie, and I wanted to kind of see the second time I wanted to watch it more for the cinematic appeal and less for the story, because I already knew how it was going to go. I wanted to catch, see what other cool shit I could see in that movie that I missed the first time through. But other than that, there hasn't really been a movie that came out that impressed me enough to go watch it a second time. And I doubt The Black Phone will be one of those movies I go watch a second time either. But I think it'll be entertaining enough for today. I'll probably go do some Uber eating after I get out of here. I can just leave right from this parking lot, turn my app on, and find something, and do it for a couple hours tonight, because that's usually nighttime's usually the busiest. Anyways, and I kind of treat today like a day off and treat myself, and kind of like give myself a positive mental stimuli for a couple of hours to kind of maybe get me out of my mental funk for a bit. So, all right. Peace, love, and nacho fries. Stay blessed. Good luck, and have a good day.